Hi, welcome to Auntie Nat's Crochet. Thank you for choosing this video. Allow me to teach you how to play with yarn. Do subscribe to my channel. The subscribe button is at this corner over here. Not only subscribe, you can also share and like and it will mean a world to me. And do check out my other videos too. They are all as informative and fun to learn as this video. And today I'm going to make some mini sunflower with this cotton yarn and a 3.5 mm hook. I'm gonna make something like this. These are bigger ones. I can make into smaller ones. This is a mini sunflower with a leaf like this hanging, so that you can tie it onto your bag, or you can tie it just about anywhere like this. You can tie a knot like this, or you can actually do this and make a hole here and put all this through the hole, so it will stay there hanging like this. You can now tie it to your bag or your clothes, or you can make it into a bookmark. So I've made some with leaf. This is just two leaves, two small leaves. This leaf is in another video. I'll share the link in the description box below. This is the mini sunflower. This is even a smaller mini sunflower, and this is a smaller, oh no, this is the same one with a smaller leaf. This is with the smaller leaf, this is with the bigger leaf. This is the the smaller mini sunflower, which it doesn't have this middle part here, and one more that look like this. This is even smaller than this. I will tell you what's the difference between these three. Okay, now let's start. Okay, we're gonna start by making the core, the middle part of the flower. You're gonna start by making a magic circle. You curl this around your two finger, make a cross here, go to the back and pull up a loop. So inside the magic circle, do 8 single crochet. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Oops, and let me get that right. Excuse me. So you pull tight and you get something like this. Now if you join it together with the slip stitch, you will get something like this. This is the one for the small flower. So I make one green part and one brown part, because this is, you're gonna hang it somewhere so you can actually see, so it's best to do the green part instead of just leaving it like this. Okay. So you do two, one in brown, you do one in brown and one in green. You put them together, place them together, and through these stitches, you don't have to sew it, we straight away do this petal here. I'll show you this later on. So for the smaller one, you do one green one and one brown one like this. Okay, for this smaller sunflower. So now I'm gonna make the core for the bigger one, a slightly bigger mini sunflower. So I have 8 single crochet here. I'm going to go to the first stitch. If you do not know where is the first stitch, you can count back from here. So this V shape here is the first stitch, not this one here, the V shape here. Okay, so from here I am going to slip stitch. Same goes for this. Same goes for this. I just slip stitch, chain one, and I cut the yarn. And I turn it to the back and tie a knot. Tie 2 knots in fact. So now for the bigger sunflower, the bigger mini sunflower, you're going to do all this part. After the slip stitch, I'm going to turn my work. This is the front, right? You turn it to the back and we start to work on the back. Start to work on this one. You do a single crochet into the same stitch, then you do a double crochet into the same stitch, and you do a single crochet into the same stitch, which makes it bulge up like this. So now we jump to the next stitch. Again, you do single crochet, double crochet, all in the same stitch, and a single crochet. So in that one stitch you're gonna do 3 stitches, one single, one double, and another single. Again, single, double, single. So in the end it will look like this. You see all this bulging here? So all this bulging part, you should have 8 petals, 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8, and turn to the back and you tie a knot. So you're gonna have like this. And for the back, the green part, it'll be slightly different because we do not have that bulging thing. So this one, let me show you again. You just go to the next stitch, single crochet, double crochet, and single crochet, all in the same stitch. So you see all this bulging, and when you come to the last part here, because we have 8 stitches, which means you should have 8 of all this, and you come to the last part here, you just slip stitch, chain 1, and cut the yarn. Now after you cut the yarn, you just tie a knot at the back, and when we do this, we put them together, all this will be inside, so you do not have to add stuffing. So now let me show you this one. This is how I do the front, and now how to do the back part, the green part. So for the green part here, I'm gonna start with the magic circle. So in the magic circle here, I'm gonna chain 2, and I'm going to do 8 double crochet. Okay, it's 8 double crochet. Do 8 double crochet, You pull tight. You pull tight here, and then the next row you are going to do increase. Just go to the first stitch here and do single crochet increase. It's single crochet increase. Looks like it's going to rain again. It's gonna be very noisy once it. Oh, I have one here. So do increase, single crochet increase, yeah. So we started with 8 single crochet, and now we started with 8 double crochet, sorry. Now we have in single crochet increase 8 times, so we're gonna have 16 stitches. And then when we come to the first one here, we just slip stitch, chain 1 and pull tight, and just cut the yarn. And just tie a knot. And later I'll show you how to join this with this and make the petal. Make sure it faces this side when you crochet, so that all these face the front. Okay, for this small one it's easy because the front and the back is the same number of stitches, whereas for this it's a bit difficult to see because of all this bulging. And bear in mind we have 3 stitches in one, 3 in 1, so here we have 16 stitches. So when I'm doing the petal, I'm gonna base on this stitch here. So I'm gonna have 16 sets of petal like this here. I will have 16 here, 1 2 3 4 5. This is 1 2 3 4 5, so I'll have 16 of it. And this is the smaller one, and I'll show you what's the difference between this one and this one, the 3 sizes here. So I'm going to do one of these first. This is the bigger one with this bulging thing. So the bulging part faces us, this one faces the back, so all the back faces the back. And just grab some yellow yarn. I'm gonna base on this here, so here I can just use any stitch. I can start from anywhere. Just grab a yellow yarn. If you want, you can, oh, it's too short. If you have a longer tail here, you can just tie a knot, or later we can hide it inside. Okay, for this flower, the petal, you do a single crochet, then you do a double crochet into the same stitch, hide a bit of this tail here, double crochet, oops, okay, double crochet, and you chain 2 I'm not going to make a picot, I'm just going to chain 2 and go back to the same stitch. Sorry, double crochet, go back to the same stitch and do a double crochet. So it's single, double, chain 2, double in the same stitch. So this is one petal. So now go to the next one. You can grab just about anywhere because here you have 3 stitches and the back you only have 1, so I'll follow the back. You're gonna do it 1 single crochet, go to the same stitch and do 1 double crochet, and then you chain 2 and you double crochet into the same stitch again. That's how you get the second petal. Then you just continue with the rest. Let me show you one last time. You're gonna single crochet, double crochet, chain 2 and double crochet, all this in the same stitch. Single, double, chain 2, double, next stitch, and you'll get something like this. And the difference between this and this is there's no chain 2. This is single, double, chain 2, double for 1 petal. This is single, double, single, 1 petal. There's no chain 2. So when there's no chain 2, it's not that pointy. Eventually it becomes slightly smaller. Okay, now I'm gonna make a small leaf to connect to this, just like this. This is with the bigger leaf. So now for the small leaf, you make a knot. And you chain 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. After you chain 8, you go to the second stitch from the hook. This is the hook, this is the first stitch, this is the second stitch. Go to the second stitch and do a single crochet, and you do a half double crochet into the next, and you do double crochet in the next, another double crochet in the next, followed by a half double crochet in the next stitch. Then you have a single crochet, and by now you only have 1 stitch left. So this stitch you're gonna do single crochet, chain 1 and single crochet into the same stitch. Oops. Single crochet into the same stitch. Hide this tail along as you crochet. Now you go to the next stitch, you start again with a single crochet, followed by a half double crochet in the next stitch, and then a double crochet in the next, a double crochet in the next, and a half double crochet and a single crochet. Oops. and come back to the end here. You go back to the first point here and do a slip stitch. And from here I'm going to chain 50. This is chain 50. If you want it longer or shorter, you can, but I think you can make it longer but not shorter. It's too short, you cannot tie, and if you tie it to your bag or whatever object, it won't dangle. So at least you need to have a little bit of space for it to dangle. Now you go get the flower. If you can, poke it into one of these stitch and do a slip stitch. Oops, that is not the that is the, oh okay, that is the tail of that previous, the tail from the flower. Okay, let me hide that tail. Maybe I'll find another stitch. So if it's too tight, maybe I'll just use a needle. Okay, I managed to grab one. Let's see if my hook can get it through. No, it's too tight. Okay, maybe I'll just cut the yarn here and sew it on with a needle, because this bigger one here is not so tight, whereas the small one here it's kind of tight. So I'll use a needle instead. So use a needle instead. Oops. And make a stitch back into this, which makes it look like there's a slip stitch. And hide the tail around the green part here. It's so tight that when you hide it around, it won't even come off. If you want, instead of making single crochet, I mean instead of making a chain, you can make single crochet. You can make 2 rows of it so that it will be thicker. And you just cut it away. And this is how it will look like. Maybe I should call it my sunflower wine. So thank you for watching. Hope you like this cute sunflower with leaves. Don't forget to subscribe, share and like, and I'll see you in my next post.